What is popping, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully the title got your attention. If it did, we're going to take a second to calm down, and then I'm going to explain what I actually mean before my channel gets reported for hate speech. Thinking long term is a very, very smart thing to do if done correctly. If you're a certain predisposition of person, as myself, as I realized this realization made me make this video in the first place, you will approach it like an idiot, and therefore you will not be thinking long term even though you think you are, and it will come with several downsides, so let's get into that. To illustrate this most easily, I'm going to use the example of a power-up in a video game. I'm using video game like I'm not myself fucking acquainted with them in a game, right? A power-up in a game, let's say you're playing like some Soulsborne game, you're playing like Dark Souls or some shit, and you get like the ancient echoes of 1,000 anuses or something, and it boosts your strength by like fucking 80% for 10 seconds or whatever, okay? And you get this power-up, and maybe you get even more of them, and you keep hoarding them. Now, if you're of a certain predisposition, hopefully you can relate to this. Actually, hopefully you can't relate to this, because that means that you're starting off at a much better point in life. But basically, if you can relate to this, you will be the type of person to where you get this power-up. What does it do? It boosts your damage temporarily, so when should it be used? Probably in a big fight. Cool. So you save it, obviously you don't want to use it for the smaller enemies, right? You're fucking, hold on, what, like, what is the layout of these games? Yeah, so you, like, get to a boss fight or whatever, let's just say, and you still don't use the power-up because you're still saving it, and because, either you think that using the power-up is cheating or something, or, like, you don't trust that you can do it without it, or this is the main thing, you fear losing the thing. You fear losing the temporary thing, so you never get it in the first place. I mean, you do get it, but you never use it, and therefore you never actually get the benefit, because what is the benefit if not the fucking temporary increased damage? Temporary. It's in the power-up that it's gonna disappear at some point, so the smart person fucking uses it. Obviously he plans it, he goes into the boss fight, uses it, shits on the boss easily first try. Now, even if the boss kills him, or whatever the fuck, and it's like, he used the power-up, oh shit, it's lost, that's fine, he just gets another one, or he fights him without it, but basically, he uses that. If you're the type of person that I'm referring to here, which is what I would be, I would never actually use the power-up in the first place, even if it's like, you know, in the boss fight, which is logically knowing that that's probably the right place to use it, because either I'm thinking it's cheating, or like, I'm afraid to lose it or whatever. And I'm thinking for the long term, I think I'm saving for some magical fucking moment when I'll know it's the right time and the right place to use it. Actually forgets to zoom out fully, lol, because if you use that power-up earlier on, you would now be, you know, progressed further, and therefore you would be further along in your journey. It's very short-term thinking in reality, even if you don't think it is, to suppose that you're fucking, you're gonna save for this great, epic, heroic moment that all of a sudden it will all make sense, and then it'll be the perfect time to use something. That's never gonna arrive. You just have to fucking full send YOLO it. Obviously, this isn't telling you to gamble. This isn't telling you to be like, invest $1,000 in Ethereum because there's no time like the present. But, you know, those are like cherry-picked examples. You know that for the majority of cases, there's no perfect scenario. You're just fucking coping. Or you're afraid of something happening that if it does happen, it's not the end of the world. And if it doesn't happen, then you'll be much further along in your journey than if you just fucking kept on neurotically saving this. Cool. This leads to the hoarder mindset, is what I've titled it, coined it here. Maybe someone else came up with this already. I would be very surprised if they have. And this is perfectionism at its worst. Perfectionism at its best is like your goal is like an unattainable ideal. Therefore, like, you shoot for the stars, then you land on the moon. Now, this hoarder mindset is that you never fucking shoot in the first place, because, like, you want to get the perfect trajectory to aim or some shit. That's actually a really good example. I'm going to allow myself a sip of water for that. Thank you for bearing with me. So in this example, perfectionism, when it's cool, is like you shoot for the stars. That's your goal, your fucking unattainable ideal. Sure, I will get to 300 pounds, 3% body fat, lean, fucking natural. Okay? Maybe you won't get there, but since that's your genuine goal that you actually believe in, you're going to go a lot higher than someone who never starts because they fucking are afraid of not doing the most optimal routine right off the bat. That's like the most common example I can think of. This never starts without some I shouldn't say status quo here, because the status quo is just the fucking way things are. The way things are, you should start, with the way things are from the majority of endeavors. These people, it is the status quo. They still don't start. They don't start without some fucking perfect ideal scenario being met, is what I should have said here. Will down the line be unwilling to improvise? What I mean by this, let's say, oh shit, for example, coronavirus. Can I say that word on YouTube? This video is gonna get less than fucking like a trillion views, so it's fine. I'm sure I can say the word COVID. I'm sure I can say the word coronavirus. That fucking hit. Whoops, gym's closed. Well, the perfect environment isn't there anymore with all the equipment, all the staff, all the regular members or whatever. I guess I'll just stop going to the gym. This is what this mindset leads you to think. Whereas the fucking power-up user who isn't afraid to lose that, right, is like, oh, okay, shit, that's fine. I'll just train at home. He's willing to give up that perfect ideal condition of the gym, even if he loses it for a bit, because it's like fucking, hey, it's out of his control. He tried, he did all that he could, now he's gonna train at home. But for this fucking hoarder mindset person, he's just gonna wait and wait until the circumstances are perfect again, and lo and behold, fucking, the lockdown lasted for like 2 to 3 years, so like, yippee, that guy lost most of his gains, muscle memory and all that, but fucking, I digress. And 2 examples of this, one fitness, one cooking, because those are the 2 things that I fucking, enjoy. Those are the 2 examples that I would know the best. First example with the fitness, Planet Fitness only goes up to 75 pounds, and I can't go to any other gym, so I'm just not going to go to the gym in the first place. This is a really shitty mindset and really shitty approach to, fitness and to life in general, because you can make progress for so long with up to those 75-pound dumbbells. I should clarify, this person is like, this type of person would think like, oh, but what if I'll get too strong for the 75s, I just won't even start, because it'll be fucking stupid, I'll max it out in no time. Now, unless you're like an actual fucking a turbo specimen, that'll last you for a while, and even if you do like max out, for example, regular dumbbell benching, you can switch to incline, you can switch to fucking fly pressing, you can switch to like, full on doing flies, and I know it's not the same, but they have fucking machines in there, like chest machines in there. They're not plate loaded, but they're like, they go up to a lot of weight, okay? So even if you do max out the 75s, you can do them Dr. Mike style, whatever the fuck, better form. You can eventually do fly presses with them. So what I'm trying to get at here is, if there's a will, there's a way. But this hoarder mindset fucker who doesn't use the power up in Bloodborne or Dark Souls is just gonna be, farting around, fucking never even starting until some perfect conditions are met. The guy who would use the power up is like, okay, fuck it, I'll start at Planet Fitness, so if I max out the dumbbells, so what? It'll look cool. The guy with the cool mindset is genuinely thinking, if I max out the dumbbells, I'm just gonna do the fucking Eric Bugenhagen thing, where I like tie a resistance band around the dumbbell and I put fucking more plates on it, so so it weighs more. So if there's a will, there's a way. And this mindset isn't actually thinking long term. It's just cope, it's just limiting you. But you think it's thinking long term because you're like, oh shit, but in a few years I'll max out the dumbbells. Yeah, no shit. So adapt, please. That's the real long term thinking, not this fucking refusing to start in the first place. The last example, which is for cooking, is like, I don't have this random ingredient, so I'm not gonna make the recipe. Lol. I used to be very prone to this. The recipe in the cookbook would used to like call for fucking fish stock, because it was like I remember it was like a glazed salmon wrapped in Swiss chard leaf. And like the glaze needed fish stock, and instead of being like a fucking above room temperature IQ individual and just use chicken stock or vegetable stock or whatever the shit, probably not beef stock, because that'd be stupid, but just even genuinely, even like water, to be honest, bruh. I know it's not the same, but it's like, just fucking make the recipe. So instead of doing that, just full sending it, making the recipe, sure, not having it be optimal, but like it's still there. I put out that recipe for so long because it's like, well, fuck, I can't find chicken stock in any of the stores, so I mean fish stock in any of the stores, so I guess I'm just gonna put it off. And lo and behold, I think we did end up making it with chicken stock, and it turned out wonderful. It turned out cool, and it was just, that process was delayed for no reason, because I thought I was doing long-term thinking, right? I thought I was thinking long-term with like the oh shit, but when I get to that part of the recipe, I'll need the fish stock, and I don't have that. My guy just started. please, just full send it, YOLO. It's fine. It's not gonna be optimal. It doesn't have to be optimal. Just go for it, literally. Just improvise. Adapt, overcome. I know it's a meme, but, like, it's true. Another example would be like, oh shit, I'm making jerk chicken and I don't have allspice. It's like, well, my guy, you can make allspice with, like, I know there's, like, 3 different other ingredients that, like, when you mix them, taste almost exactly like allspice. It's like fucking, I think it may be like clove, star anise, and cinnamon, and like coriander or some shit. One of those. A combination of those. So yeah, please be willing to improvise. If you're thinking this way, just know that it's not actual long-term thinking. The actual long-term thinking will get you very far in life. This will not. Let's fucking go. Don't approach it like an idiot. Full send. Be willing to adapt. And have a good night. Peace.